Hello, I am Quenisha Critchlow, better known as Queen. I am a fourth-year PhD student at the University of Alabama, Birmingham in the Medical Clinical Psychology program. Now, my research broadly looks at adolescent development, but I'm specifically interested in looking at how racial discrimination impacts behavioral, psychological, and physiological outcomes among adolescents. So, for my dissertation, I plan to examine the relationship between racial discrimination and inflammation in a sample of Black and Hispanic adolescents. Now, I hypothesize that adolescents who have greater encounters with discrimination will have greater inflammation, indicated by greater levels of salivary CRP and salivary IL-6, which are both markers of inflammation that can be found in the saliva. So once we get all our approvals to do the research, we start recruiting. So we've been recruiting from middle schools throughout the Birmingham area. And once we get their consent from their parents, as well as their consent, we invite them to our lab to start collecting data. And we usually collect data in the form of surveys and questionnaires. So here are a few of our iPads that we use when we schedule individual interviews for our participants. This is a sneak peek at the questionnaire that our participants fill out on our tablets. And this section specifically asks about racial hassles or racial discrimination and how often these things are occurring. So there's a number of questions all asking about things that may have happened because of their race, such as being belittled, put down, made fun of, hearing racist jokes, and etc. In addition to collecting information via surveys and questionnaires, we also collect saliva samples from our participants. So this is a box of some of our saliva kits. Let's see what's inside. So this is what our saliva kits look like. We pretty much have participants passively drool into one of these tubes. And once we get the sample, we freeze it. After we get our saliva samples, we have to keep them at a certain temperature. So here are two of our freezers that we store our saliva samples in. After collecting all of our data, we then begin to analyze it. So first we consolidate all the information into one file, and then we upload it into a statistical package or program that allows us to run statistical analyses. Now, these statistical analyses are what tells us how or if certain variables are related. So I guess the question remains, how does this all tie into social justice? Well, research shows that racial and ethnic minorities are 2 times more likely to develop a chronic illness compared to whites. Now, discrimination and inflammation have both been identified as key contributors to the development of chronic illnesses. So, by investigating these 2 factors, we can further our understanding of current racial disparities in health. So, thanks for listening, and I hope you learned some. Bye.